The Oklahoma athletic director job is coming available soon. Could Ren Baker, West Virginia's director of athletics, be on his way home to Oklahoma? We're talking about that and much, much more on the Voice of Morgantown show. Let's go.
I'm following like Voice of Morgantown and like
Sure.
What's up, West Virginia fans? My name is Brad Smith. Bernie Mac, what is up, buddy?
How you doing, man? I missed you. It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. Guys, before we get started, I was in West Virginia for the last 10 days. I'm pretty much all over the state, and I spent a lot of time in Berkeley Springs and the Martinsburg area for a while. Then, of course, went home to Fairmont and spent some time in Morgantown. It's real hard, It's real easy to forget, Bernie, how great the people in the state of West Virginia are when you're not there all the time. I of course, live in Florida now. And dealing with people on Twitter and X, you forget that people in West Virginia are the best people in the world. Not so much on X, but in real life, they're great. And I wanted to say thanks to all the people that came up and said hi to me and wished me well when I was in West Virginia. So thank you so much for that. Bernie, when was the last time you were in West Virginia? Do you feel that you're going to go back soon?
Yeah, it was last year, man. Me and the family went to Nemacolin for spring break, and we decided to pop over to Morgantown for the day. Had some friends take my kids around to the Coliseum, got to walk around, get on the floor. I have 3 girls, and they loved it. They're all basketball players, so they got to go in the locker room and get kind of the VIP tour, which is great. Hit up Los Mariachis, which is my favorite restaurant in town,
Yes.
For lunch. And then we went to, I think it was Kegler's for dinner. So we kind of stuck around the area, did the bookstore, went to the Mountaineer. It's a special place, like you said, man. So anytime you go back, it's great. But that was my first time back with my family, which was great.
I always say, I feel like North Central West Virginia is the cuisine capital of the world. And I know that's probably not true, but that's how I feel. My first stop is Wings Olay, Muriel's in Fairmont. I mean, Call it Setsno's Pizza. I made the rounds, man. I was pretty much everywhere in North Central West Virginia, man. It was great.
Yeah. It's always funny whenever I tell everybody my favorite food. Wings Olay is definitely up there, I have to say. But for me, it's just the nostalgia of Los Mariachis. I don't know why, but ever since I was a freshman, when I went there and got that fried chimichanga, a pitcher of margaritas, and that salsa, life was good. So I was telling my kids about, like, hey, the best Mexican restaurant you're ever going to eat at is in Morgantown, West Virginia. It really doesn't align, but it was fantastic, and we had a great time.
Absolutely. So, guys, before we get started, I do want to say we are giving away free tickets, guys, free season tickets to West Virginia football this year. Every game except for the Pitt game. We're going to give away the Pitt tickets as well, but we'll do that in a separate giveaway. All tickets, 2 tickets to Robert Morris, Utah, TCU, Colorado with primetime Deion Sanders coming into Morgantown, and Texas Tech. All you have to do, guys, is go and subscribe to our new YouTube channel, and the link is there in the comments. I'll pull it up here as well. If you go and subscribe on youtube.com/@Voice of Morgantown, you will enter automatically. We're going to have all of our list of followers up, and if you are chosen, you will get 2 free season tickets to see the Mountaineers this year. So big giveaway. Bernie, are you entering in, man?
Oh, you know it.
Got to get those free tickets, right?
Wow, dude, all over it, brother.
I don't know any other outlet that's doing that right now. So, I think it's a great opportunity to win some free tickets. So, guys, you all tuned in to talk about Ren Baker. Ren Baker, listen, guys, he's been an outstanding athletic director for the Mountaineers for the last several years. That Oklahoma position is going to be available soon. Of course, their athletic director has announced that he will retire in the coming days. Guys, Ren Baker is from Oklahoma. His wife's from Oklahoma. So of course he's automatically considered, it's a potential job for him. He's one of the best and brightest young athletic directors in the country. And if it's his home state. So it just makes a lot of sense. Bernie, what are you thinking on the potential of Ren Baker going back home to become the athletic director at Oklahoma?
It's a coin flip, buddy. I mean, the family ties that he has there and lack of family ties and affiliation he has here, other than what he's built over the last several years. That's why you do what you do, right? Like you take the job. That's a good job, and I think he's done a great job at West Virginia. But ultimately, if he could go back home to be around his family, his wife's family, you can't fault the guy for that, And we all know he's got a lot of family in Texas, Oklahoma, 3-hour car ride comparatively to a long flight right now. I wouldn't blame him, and I'd be grateful for the imprint that he's left and the things that he's done for West Virginia. I'd hate to see him go, but I wouldn't be mad if he did. I guess that's kind of where I land.
I think that's how most fans feel. I certainly feel that way. That if he decides to make the move to Oklahoma, it's understandable. Not only because of the family ties, like we mentioned, but also considering the financial situation at both schools. West Virginia, he's made no secret of the fact that West Virginia is struggling financially. That it's a tough job. Oklahoma is the exact opposite. They have great financial situation. They're in the SEC. It's a powerhouse program, and so I don't know, man. It's one of those things where we always talk about going home and taking a better job. I wouldn't blame him. Bernie, I love doing this show with you, man. But if ESPN offered me my own show and offered $1 million to do it, of course I'm going to take it.
Yeah, and again, I mean, ultimately we have to remember where he's from and where his roots are, right? And that's the biggest thing to me. And everybody has to remember he has no ties to Morgantown. Being AD at North Texas, where his family's from, where his wife's family's from, he just has no affiliation, no grounding here. I'm sure he loves it here. I'm sure he's been happy here. I'm sure in some sense he'd like to see the success that he's built, especially with Hodge and Rich Rod coming in this year, to take credit for that. But at the end of the day, like you said, Brad, I mean, it's the SEC. They're probably going to pay him a lot more. It's one of the marquee programs, and he has family ties there. So when you combine all three of those factors, if he left, I would definitely miss him. Grateful for all he's done for our program, but I wouldn't be mad at him in the slightest. I would wish him the best and shake his hand and say, thank you for all you've done.
I've seen a lot of fans on social media say, well, he's going to this, this cookout thing in the southern part of the state next week. He's not saying that he hasn't said that he's going there. Guys, listen, of course he's not going to come right out and say that he's interested in the Oklahoma job. But Bernie, I think we would be naive to think that him and his wife have at least not had conversations behind closed doors together about, hey, how great would this be to go back home? Even though we love Morgantown, we love what we've built here. I truly think that that's a dream job for him.
Yep. No, I totally agree, man. And I mean, look, anybody that's been in the professional corporate ranks, when you get offered a job, the whole points of reviewing the opportunity is looking at how it affects your family. And, that's always a big part of it. And you could get paid a lot more money, but if it's not a good fit from a family perspective, then you're probably going to turn it down. In this case, it's a good fit from multiple perspectives for him and his family. So again, look, we're all really happy with what Wren's done over the years. I would hate to see him go, but I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, I think one of the saving graces here, though, for us, Bernie, is that I'm not sure that he's necessarily the best candidate for the job right now. There is Mississippi State's athletic director, Zach Selman. He's from Norman, Oklahoma. He has also worked at Oklahoma before in prominent roles. He has SEC experience as an athletic director there at Mississippi State. Personally, I think Zach Selman makes a lot more sense for Oklahoma than Ren Baker. But say Zach Selman isn't interested. I think Ren Baker's next up, man.
Agreed. Yeah, and I thought you put that out on social media, I think, a few days back, and I thought you were spot on, right? Like, it's a good fit. But again, I mean, when you look at Ren's track record and what he's done and the success that he's had, he really hasn't made many mistakes, if any. So I think he's definitely going to be talked about for that job. And look, if it's not this job, it's going to be another job because he's a young, talented guy. He's got a long future in the business, and we're going to have to get used to it, right? And we hope to keep him as long as we can, but we can't fault him when he decides to leave.
Absolutely. So, a lot of people are guessing about whether or not he is going to stay or go. I don't think anybody knows right now. I think it's a little too early to know for sure what's going to happen, but it's definitely something to keep our eyes out on for over the next couple of days and weeks. If Zach Selman says, takes his name out of the running, I think we really, really need to watch out. And even if Zach Selman still stays in, Ren Baker is a widely respected AD and someone that I think a lot of people really would love to have as their AD. Someone mentioned that Florida State's AD has ties as well. I don't know that that's necessarily a step up, the Florida State job to Oklahoma. What do you think, Bernie?
No. Oklahoma, paramount. Family ties, again, focus, SEC, ACC, not comparable. It's just not the same thing. I mean, look, at the end of the day, too, the thing I think about is Ross Hodge and, the North Texas correlation with Wren and how he got him here. The good thing that Wren's done, though, is he's buttoned up the program for long-term success with Rich Rod and Hodge. Hodge isn't going anywhere. He's got a very, very significant buyout. We've got him as long as he wants to be here, I think. Would it affect his decision to leave in 5 years if he's successful and Ren Baker's not the AD? Absolutely. But again, look, if we have Ren Baker in 5 years, I'd be shocked. So.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So the other big thing happening today, Bernie, of course, was the Big 12 Media Days. Rich Rodriguez had some interesting things to say. I just took a few quotes that we'll talk about. He said, I want to break the record for the most number of guys that played the most number of plays in college football. If I'm dressing out 80 guys, I want all 80 to play. Bernie, your thoughts on that quote from old Rich Rod?
I think it's telling that he realizes how he's going to run the program and rotating guys and focusing on fresh legs and trying to build a really significant talent base. So I think Rich Rod's going to look to do something different in the Big 12 and probably going to rotate out and sacrifice some of the talent gap just to have fresh legs out there. So I thought it was an interesting comment, but it's telling how he's thinking of running the program this year. And I think he's going to try and make an impact any way he can. And that could be one way he's going to do it, which is fresh legs all the time, heavy rotations, getting guys in so they play, they feel engaged, they feel a part of the team, feel a part of the program, building that pipeline in the NIL era. And I thought that was pretty cool. I liked what he said, to be honest, because we've seen it so many times where you have these kids that come in, they expect to play so much and they don't. They get frustrated and then they're looking to transfer out, right? So if Rich Rod rotates them through and they start to play a little bit, I think it'll keep the kids engaged and they feel they have the opportunity to step up based on their performance. And I think that's all any of them ask for.
It's interesting, Bernie. That's exactly what I thought. I took it from a player's perspective as well and thought for a player, that's great news is that that at any point you can actually play. You could actually be out on the field. And so I think that was I love that quote from Rich Rod as well, even though, if we have four quarterbacks or if whatever, I don't necessarily want our freshmen like Scotty Fox playing immediately. But, a lot of players are a lot of offensive linemen, wide receivers. I think in the past under Neal Brown, they felt like no matter what they did, they weren't going to see the field. And so I love that Rich Rod has completely flipped that upside down.
Right. Agreed. And I think a lot of that has to do with today's environment, right? Like you want these kids to feel like they have that opportunity because so many of them feel entitled And I'm not saying that about our team, but we just see it within the portal and the transfer portal, where if they don't feel they're getting the playing time that they deserve or the opportunity to at least show what they could do, they're going to leave. And I think Neal Brown, to your point, was terrible at that because he would just keep, players that were not above the board from a talent level with the next man up because he felt like he had to provide that loyalty, and that's just not what today's college football is all about.
The ultimate example, of course, is Jarret Doege, right? I mean, Jarret Doege we watched for 2.5 years. We all knew he wasn't the best fit or the best person for the job. We had Garrett Green sitting on the sidelines, who, people said that Garrett Green couldn't throw downfield at the time. He was an Elite 11 quarterback in high school. We've seen that he can throw downfield. And let's say that he didn't know the offense so well. So what? Garrett Green was somebody that you just let Garrett Green be Garrett Green and go out and do what he did. And instead, we spent 2.5 years with Jarret Doege, which I don't know, Bernie. That wasn't my most proud moments as a Mountaineer fan.
No, I mean, look, if you think back to some of those games that Brown had with Doege, and that's when we had Koning as a D coordinator, and Koning was actually really solid. We put up some good defenses the first couple of years with him. All you needed was somebody like Garrett Green that could scramble and get out of that backfield because our O-line was getting trounced, right? Like we just didn't have the depth. So why would you stick with somebody that's a statue like Jarret Doege, who obviously, I mean, he wasn't even an accurate or good passer. He didn't have a good deep. Like, why would you stick with him when your offensive line is breaking down and you need somebody who could create, right? It was so stubborn and so stupid. I always hammered Neal Brown for that. It was one of the bigger reasons I always hated him because he just I'll never forget that press conference, Brad, where he was like, Jarret Doege's the most improved guy on our team.
Yeah.
Bro, if that's the most improved guy on the team, I could have been All-American because I would have stepped out there and lit Jarret Doege up. Like, he just was terrible. So It's just the stubbornness of Neal Brown was baffling.
Somehow we ended up talking about Neal Brown again, man. I don't know how it happened.
I think we talk about him, Brad, because he's responsible for 6 years of shit, of just crap of Mountaineer football. Like we've all watched Mountaineer football for, even if you go back to when Rich Rod came and took over for Nealon, right? We were used to Nealon since the 80s, and Nealon obviously took the program to epic heights. And then you get Rich Rod, who backfills a legend, when most of us who are in our 40s were in school during that time. You get Pat White, you get Steve Slayton, you get the runaway beer truck with Owen Schmidt, you get Pat McAfee, you get all these guys, Anthony Beck, Corey Ivey, Avon Coburn. I mean, I could go on and on. Quincy Wilson, like all these guys that have had such a tremendous impact on the program. And then you look at Neal Brown. And even Dana. Let's talk about Dana. Geno Smith, Devon Austin, right? Like some of the games, we have highlights for Dana Holgerson. So you go Don Nealon, Rich Rod, Bill Stewart. You have some good memories. Bill Stewart, Oklahoma game, the speech, all these great things. Bill Stewart went 9-4 that following year. I mean, he did good things. I can't think of one freaking good thing about Neal Brown. I cannot think of one solid thing where I'm like, oh, Neal Brown shocked me and surprised me and did something great. If anybody is watching this show right now, please tell me one thing that you remember from the Neal Brown era that is like a Bill Stewart, Rich Rod, Dana Holgerson level moment. I can't think of one.
That's an interesting comment. Guys, in the comments, please leave us your favorite Neal Brown moment, the one that made you proud to be a Mountaineer, the one that you feel like he really did great things for the program. Other than being a nice guy, man, I don't remember anything that was spectacular. And I think that maybe what distinguishes us, Bernie, from some of these other guys. A lot of people on Twitter, they're some of the new college kids who are in their 20s. They don't realize how great West Virginia is as a football program. Maybe they were too young to realize that this is one of the greatest football programs in college football. And I think that they just thought that what Neal Brown did, that 5-7, 6-6 7-5 record, that was just how West Virginia football is. It's just not, is it, Bernie?
No. I don't think everybody realizes we're one of the top 15 winningest programs in the history of college football. We are the winningest program without a national trophy.
Yep.
National championship. That, like, everybody forgets that. We don't remember what it's like to suck before Neal Brown. We had some like up and down years with Don Nealon, but Don Nealon was getting old, but he still finished. He did well, right? And then you get Rich Rod. He had like a rough year and a half, and then he just dominated and took West Virginia to unforeseen heights. Then you look at Bill Stewart, the speech for the Oklahoma game, still won a bowl game against Georgia Tech with Pat White in his final year. Did some good things. Then gets pushed out by Holgorsen. Holgorsen, you can look at the Texas game, the Orange Bowl, 70-33. We all remember that. Name one damn thing about Neal Brown. Can't remember anything.
Here's one. Tyler Marks over on YouTube said beating Virginia Tech was probably the only high point in the Neal Brown era.
No. So I'll push back on that. Put that.
That was Tyler.
Tyler, do you remember that game, man? Jarrett Dagey threw what was essentially a pick, and then the defense bailed him out. Remember that? Like, Jarrett Dagey essentially almost gave the game to VTech in the final minutes, and then we were able to get that back. Neal Brown has not done anything good or anything that's worth remembering in Mountaineer history that I could think of. Not one thing. And that game was a giveaway game that basically his players bailed him out for it.
Yep. And for a lot of us, Bernie, Mountaineer football, Mountaineer sports is a big part of our lives. I mean, honestly, it's one of the biggest parts of my life. And, we've got, I'm 46 years old now and, don't have a ton of time left. I want to see us win football games. I mean, I didn't want to put up with another single moment of Neal Brown football because we ultimately knew that it was not going to be anything special.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, I think that's why it's so disassociated now, right? Like, we just had such high expectations for his era. We felt like, he was going to be a guy that could possibly lead us to a different level. He was like kind of that, oh, shucks, blue collar guy. He just didn't do it. He didn't deliver, right? Like, I saw somebody talking about the Mayo Bath. Come on, man. Who did we beat in the bowl games? We beat Army. I don't even remember who the last
North Carolina. But North Carolina had 20 starters out on that game as well.
Oh, yeah,
so it doesn't even count. That does not even count.
And we barely beat them. So, it's an Army we barely beat. I just, there's nothing like you can remember very significant moments in any other coach over the last 20 years. Obviously with Rich Rod, obviously with Bill Stewart, obviously with Dana Holgorsen. There's not one marquee moment I remember with Neal Brown. Not one. So, I mean, that's just what I'll remember of him and his tenure. The only thing I'll remember is we were never ranked and that he was just the worst coach in our program's history, in my opinion.
I always think about what Neal Brown potentially tuning in right now, and he's like, "Wait, they're still talking about me." Yes, we're still talking about you, Neal. We love you, man. We miss you. We don't, guys. While we have a bunch of people in here right now, let me just remind you guys. You have an opportunity to win season tickets to see the Mountaineers this year. That's the Robert Morris, Utah, TCU, Deion Sanders with the Colorado Buffaloes and Texas Tech home games. Every home game except for Pitt, you have an opportunity to win. All you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel. I just posted the YouTube link there in our comments. We will be also giving away the Pitt tickets, but we're going to do that in a separate giveaway. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 home games, guys. I haven't seen anyone else giving away season tickets right now, and all you have to do is hit subscribe, turn on those notifications, and we will be giving those tickets away here live on the air. Pretty exciting stuff. Bernie, the other comment that I saw that was interesting from Rich Rodriguez today is that he said he's comfortable playing and winning with 3 of his quarterbacks right now. He went on to say that he has 4 or even 5 quarterbacks that he can win with. I'm assuming he's talking about Nico, of course, Jalen Henderson, Max Brown, the transfer from Charlotte, Scotty Fox, the true freshman, and Khalil Wilkins, I believe is who he's talking about, those 5 guys. What do you think, man? Are we going to see 4 or 5 quarterbacks this year? I'm hoping, really, I think Nico's going to have an amazing year, and that he's going to be in when we really need our best quarterback in.
I think we're going to see multiple quarterbacks when we have a good lead. I think Nico's the guy throughout the season. He's going to be the workhorse. I think when Rich Rod could take him out to preserve him and not risk injury, that's when he'll take him out. I think we're going to see some other guys maybe in certain packages because, Rich Rod does still like the RPO. He does still like to throw some wrinkles into his offense. And I think if somebody is a little quicker than Nico or a little more athletic from a running standpoint, you could see that. But Nico's the guy, man. Like anybody that's saying that Henderson or anybody, it's Nico is it. He's the guy, period. End of statement, exclamation point. Stop debating it. He's the guy.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have thought that maybe Jalen Henderson is the favorite now. I guess he was the starter on the NCAA 26 football game on Xbox. So a lot of people think that means he's going to be the starter. Guys, listen, I would bet my life on the fact that Nico Marchiol will be our starter when we take the field against Robert Morse this year. I just think he is, it bothers me, honestly, Barney, because he's been here for 3 years now. He's done nothing but win and be an awesome teammate. I think a lot of people think that he's not capable of throwing downfield. But if you've watched him last year in several games, especially the Cincinnati game and when he played at Arizona, a couple of games that he started when Garrett Green was injured, he was definitely able to throw it downfield. He was very accurate throwing the ball mid-range and downfield. And I think a lot of people see him as, listen, Neal Brown was his head coach. He was the offensive coordinator. Neal Brown has never made a quarterback look great. So it just bothers me that people have not given Nico Marchiol the respect that he absolutely deserves.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it on the show numerous times. We've seen people try and create a quarterback controversy thinking of a Pat White or Rasheed Marshall or Jared Brown. No, this is a different Rich Rod. He's going to run his offense differently. We have to stop romanticizing and trying to plug in a player based off of those great offenses. The reason those offenses became great was a lot of reasons. We had guys like Dan Moses, at center. I mean, we had a fantastic receiving core. We had Pat White. There's a specific mix, right? Rich Rod's going back in year 1 here with a ton of transfers. Everybody needs to stop thinking it's plug and play because they think Jalen Henderson is more athletic than Nico. It's just not true. And anybody that's seen the work that Nico's put in the offseason and what he looks like right now, I've said this numerous times on our previous podcast, dude looks like Tebow. He's going to go in this year. Think of Tim Tebow and the effect that Tim Tebow had, but Nico is a far better, more elite passer than a Tim Tebow. So think of that prototypical quarterback build, his ability to run and see the field, but be able to throw it downfield when he needs to. That's what we're going to have this year with Nico. And he's solid, man. He's going to run. He's going to go after it. So I'm excited for it.
Not only is he fast and can he throw downfield, he also runs over people. We saw that last year in the highlights. But here's the thing, guys, is that number one, he is a winner. And that is what Rich Rod values more than anything else, is that Nico Marchiol is an ultimate winner. He's 4-0 at West Virginia during his limited time as a starter. And that's with Neal Brown as his head coach. I don't know if you guys have forgotten who Nico Marchiol is. If you go back to who he was in high school, which is the last time he really got significant playing time as a starter, he was down 24-7 in that game, high school game, with a minute, and I believe it was a minute and 10 seconds left, and they came back and won. Nico Marchiol is an insane winner, and I just feel like people have forgotten who this guy is. He was one of the top quarterback recruits coming out of high school. He was a 4-star guy. Jalen Henderson is, I love that he's on our team. This is nothing against Jalen Henderson. He has SEC experience. He's shown that he is capable of getting the job done. But in my opinion, I just feel so blessed and grateful that we have Nico Markule as the team's leader right now. You with me, Bernie? I think you're on mute, Bernie. I'll go ahead and run another.
Sorry. No, I said, yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. One more time, guys, while we have over 1,500 people here with us. And one more time, we're doing a season ticket giveaway. All games except for Pitt, we're giving away. Robert Morris, Utah, TCU, Buffalo, Texas Tech. All you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is in the comments. Please go ahead and do that, and you will automatically be entered to win. The other thing, the big news that happened while I was back home in West Virginia and while we were away, Bernie, is that the West Virginia Mountaineer basketball team earned a commitment from Amir Jenkins, who is a 4-star point guard, big-time recruit, the number one player of Massachusetts, had all kinds of great offers. He was a 2026 recruit. He reclassified and is now a 2025 recruit who will join the Mountaineers. So probably back up Jasper Floyd, who will be a senior. He came from North Texas with Ross Hodge. So Amir Jenkins will have a year to learn, and then under Jasper Floyd, and then I can't wait, man. This guy, I don't know if you've seen his highlights, Bernie, but this is a legit superstar talent.
Yeah, no, as soon as I saw there was a little bit of smoke around him committing, I started to look at it, and I think he's a fantastic athlete. I think he's going to be a great addition to the program. I'm super excited about what Hodge has been doing. Just even watching some of the ways he's running his practices and seeing some of the film. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people, man. I see us being constantly picked at the bottom for both football and basketball. I think it's just people that don't know us, don't know our program, and don't know the players and the coaching ability we have. And I'm really excited to kind of poop in a lot of people's cornflakes this year because they're going to be underestimating the Mountaineers, and it's going to be a big mistake both for football and basketball.
Yeah, what do you think, Bernie? I mean, we've got a lot of guards, we've got a lot of forwards. There's mid-sized guys. My only concern is that we only have one legit center, and that's Harlan Obiaha, who is a transfer that we got. He's a 7-footer, but after that, I still think we need to add one more big guy. What are your thoughts, man?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we are going to need that depth in the Big 12. We just don't have it yet. But, I mean, again, right, like everybody has to remember, it's Hodge's first year, man. Give him some time. Let people see who he is, what he does on the big stage, and the recruits will follow. And I think we have a fantastic group of young kids. You and I have had the opportunity to interact with Connor Ruff. We've had him on the show. He's a great advocate for the program. Like he said on the show, he's out recruiting. And he's a good guy to have doing that kind of stuff. And I know there's a bunch of other guys on that team that are doing the same thing.
Yeah. Did you see Ross Hodge bought Darren DeVries' house and said that Darren DeVries left behind a lot of West Virginia souvenirs and merchandise? Did you see this, Bernie?
No. Who's Darren DeVries?
Oh, yeah. Darren DeVries was he's the Indiana Hoosiers head coach. He was here for a short time. Yeah. A couple other basketball things real quick. We've got Miles McBride. I know we wanted to talk about this. Miles McBride has out his own children's book. It's called Deuce, the Champion of Friendship. Deuce is a friend of the show, and so I definitely want to mention this. Miles McBride, who is currently a former West Virginia point guard, of course, who is now with the New York Knicks. Guys, please go out and support Deuce's book. Go buy that book. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, Bernie. I ordered it on Amazon, but I haven't gotten it yet. Are you going to read it?
So, I mean, I looked at it and I checked it out a little bit. Just there are some preview pages. I just am blown away. Like, you just don't see rookies doing this kind of stuff, right? Like, he has his head on so straight. He's such a good young man. I'm just super proud of him and how he's representing himself and our university, to be honest. And everybody should be really happy that he chose to come to West Virginia and he gave us the time that he had here because he's just a a fantastic young kid, and super excited for all the success he's seen.
Man, the guys that we have who are in the NBA from West Virginia, we've got Javon Carter, Miles McBride, and of course now Javon Small. I mean, just really, really great young men who, you're right, man, just represent the university in such a great way.
Good people make good programs.
Absolutely. The other one that I guess we can mention as well is Jalen Bridges, who, of course, transferred after his sophomore year to go play at Baylor. He played for the Phoenix Suns G League team last year. He played well, and now he signed a contract with the Boston Celtics for their summer league team. What do you think, man? Do you think Jalen Bridges will ever make an NBA roster?
Yeah, I do. I think he's a really talented guy. And I mean, look, we talked about this in the past, right? Like, he was very open as to why he left. He couldn't even get a conversation with Huggins and the coaching staff at that time.
That's true.
So, I love Hugs. I always will. But I'm the type of player and person and coach that if one of my players wants to talk to me, I'm going to open that door. And I was a little surprised to hear that he couldn't get a meeting with Huggins. And when he had the meeting on the book, Huggins canceled, and that's when he decided to transfer. So as a player, you got to feel wanted. You have to feel respected. And the minute you lose that, then you're going to lose interest in the program. So I don't blame him at all. At the end of the day, he's a West Virginia kid. I wish him nothing but the best and a lot of success.
Absolutely. Guys, we have a lot of big things happening here at the Voice of Morgantown. We're excited that we were able to announce Rush Bishop as a new partner and director of video content for us. He will have a show on our platform called The Rush Show. It'll be every weekday with us Monday through Thursday, and then potentially one or two on the weekend. Rush he'll be starting that show soon, so really excited to have him as a part of the team. Bernie, anything else you want to add before we bounce, buddy?
No, I mean, look, everybody, it's we typically try and do like 3 shows a week, but obviously it's a very kind of dead period in West Virginia athletics. So we're excited about this stuff we're building, but when we come back for football season, you're going to see a very different Voice of Morgantown media family, and we're really excited about that. Brad's been doing a lot of good things. Excited to be a part of the team. Like you just said, we have Rush joining, so you're going to see a very different platform, and we're excited to share it with you when football rolls around. So keep following us, subscribe to our YouTube, start interacting with us more on social media. There's going to be a lot of good things coming, a lot of giveaways, and we're excited for the season. So all I got is cheers, beers, Mountaineers. Let's go. Can't wait for Rich Rod to get on that field in less than 7 weeks.
Absolutely. Tosh Miller said, hit that like button. Guys, we really appreciate you helping the algorithm and by hitting that like button. Also, guys, one more time, I'm going to plug it one more time, Bernie. Season ticket giveaway, guys. 5 home games. All you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's there in the comments right now. After the show, make your way over there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and you'll automatically be entered to win those season tickets. Guys, we really appreciate you. 1,700 people tuned in tonight or live with us right now. Bernie, we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much, and let's go Mountaineers.
I'm following like Voice of Morgantown and like
Sure.